Hey everybody, I'm Jack Reedy with Future Pastimes, and I'm a designer on expansions for the classic Dune board game, the 2019 edition from Gale Force 9. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about a special treachery card from the first expansion that we did for this edition of Dune, and that is the Ixians and Tleilaxu expansion. And the card I'm going to talk about is Chemistry. Now, Chemistry is a special defense and weapon, and it is a companion card to Weirding Way, which is a card I did a video for recently, and the link for that is in the description. So Weirding Way is a special weapon that can be a defense. Chemistry is a special defense that can be a weapon. So I'm going to talk about what the effects are and why it was designed and how it fits into the grand scheme of things. So as you can see, it's a defense and a weapon. It's special. Because it is a special weapon slash defense, the Bene Gesserit can voice it specifically by name if they want to compel you to play or not to play Chemistry. And if you have Chemistry, then you must comply with it being played. Now, the voice can't specify you must play Chemistry as a weapon. They can just say you must play Chemistry or you may not play Chemistry. And you must comply. But how it is played is still left up to you. So let's talk about what it does. Part of your battle plan. Its default is that it is a poison defense. Counts as a poison defense unless it is played with another defense. So you are allowed to play a defense with Chemistry, and when you do, it then counts as a poison weapon. So you can still only play one weapon and one defense in your battle plan. You can't play both. But if you play a defense with Chemistry, then Chemistry is your weapon in that battle. So the opposite is true with Weirding Way. Weirding Way is by default a projectile weapon, but it can be played with another weapon, in which case it then counts as a projectile defense. So the other thing, though, about this is that it does count as a poison defense. So if the Bene Gesserit were to voice you to say you must play a poison defense and you have Chemistry, you must play it, and you have to play it as a defense. You couldn't then play it with another defense to count it as a weapon. Now, if you did, for instance, have a snooper, then you could play the snooper instead of Chemistry as the poison defense per the voice, or you could play it with that and then it would count as a weapon. So some nuance there for sure, but it was by design. The other thing that I want to point out here is that it says that it counts as a poison defense. It specifically does not say that it counts as a snooper. Now, snooper is a poison defense, but there are effects that specify snooper. So I'll give you an example here. Poison Tooth. Poison Tooth kills both leaders and is not stopped by a snooper. So we get this question, is it stopped by Chemistry? And the answer is yes. Poison Tooth can be stopped by Chemistry. Because we were very specific about wanting to use the word snooper here and not poison defense. Now, if we just said it is not stopped by poison defense, well, then you're out of luck with Chemistry. Your leader is definitely going to die. But we like having these little Achilles heels for certain effects in the game. So important to know that. Now, the Chemistry, the origin of it, there's a lot of poison and antidotes throughout Dune lore. So we went with the approach of just kind of generalizing how it worked. There wasn't a specific thing in the Dune universe that I'm aware of that, could be a defense, could be a poison. It wouldn't surprise me if one suddenly appeared in the next Brian Herbert, Kevin J. Anderson book or some other Dune-related phenomenon. But I'm okay with that. I do really love the artwork. So the Ixians and Tleilaxu expansion was the last thing that Ilya did artwork for. So he did Weirding Way and Chemistry. And they are two of my favorite pieces of art that he's done in all of the games. So yeah, I'd really like how that turns out. And the reason that we had cards like Chemistry and Weirding Way is because we were definitely going to add more treachery cards to the treachery deck, but we did not want to have a negative impact on the ratio of cards. How many cards overall in the treachery deck are weapons or defenses? That was a very specific and well thought out ratio by the original designers. So as we worked on adding more treachery cards to that deck, we wanted to ensure that we maintained that ratio as closely as possible. So the idea that we could add more weapons and defenses, but that they could have multiple uses. So if you've happened to draw another defense, and having two defenses is certainly not great, especially if they're both the same. So if I have a snooper and I have chemistry, well, it would be nice if chemistry can then be used as something else, similarly with Weirding Way. So that's the design process on there. Like I said, with Weirding Way, if I get chemistry as my initial card, or it's something that I end up buying, I get very excited because I love the fact that it has that flexibility, and it's got some fun uses and gives me a chance to really play the table, I think, more effectively. So let me know in the comments what you think of chemistry and Weirding Way. Do you like these cards? Do you think there's too much going on? I'd be sad if you said so and it's too late, although players certainly don't have to use these cards if they've got them. But I can't imagine not having them in the Treachery deck now, because I think they're exciting cards. I think they up the ante in the bidding phase, and they make those battles even more tense than they are normally. That's it for this video. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you again soon.